Hi guys, and welcome back to the game room. This is just another pickups video for you. These pickups are over the last sort of couple of months or so. So all the way through, sort of end of July, August. We're about to be in September, of course, as of next week. So thought I'd go through some of my pickups with you. I'll start with what's on the top of this pile, and that is on the Nintendo 64. I've got Excitebike 64. This is a really cool game. I saw this on Cinemassacre's James and Mike Mondays that they did, and they had 4 of them playing this game. It looks really awesome. It's quite good fun. It's a motocross game. So I picked that up. Picked it up from the game shop in Bournemouth that I used to go to called Wares Games. I was doing an exam down there, an ITIL Foundation exam, which I passed, by the way. And I picked this up whilst I was down there. So we'll move those to one side for a second, because I'll come on to those. I picked up McDonald Land for the NES. I got this from Everyday Games in Filton, so this game's pretty cool. It's a platformer for the NES. It seems like a pretty good game so far. It's quite tricky, but yeah, having good fun with that one. Also picked up Batman. The thing to note about this one, as you'll see down here where my right thumb is, it's got a B on it. So it's another one of these games where if you've got a normal NES from the UK, then it's probably not going to work. You're probably going to get a flashing light unless you've modified your NES like I have, unless you've disabled the 10NES security chip. So this game works. Again, it's good fun, but it's also a tricky sort of platforming game. Quite like it. So yeah, it's Batman, guys. For the Mega Drive. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you are going to look at this and go, hey, Knuckles in Sonic the Hedgehog 1. This is actually a hack done by a really clever guy called Stealth, which was released quite some years ago, actually. And there was a guy on eBay actually selling this as in cartridge form, and obviously box like it is here, which is really cool. It looks just like a real Mega Drive box, really. And inside you've got the cartridge there. That looks pretty neat. I'm going to try that out on my Mega Drive. Because, of course, back in the day, what Sonic Team did with Sonic and Knuckles, the cartridge that you could plug Sonic 3 into and Sonic 2 into, was they didn't actually make it so you could use Sonic 1. Well, not in the same way as you could the other two games. You couldn't play as Knuckles in the original Sonic the Hedgehog game. So, yeah, this hack, or this ROM hack from Stealth, basically makes that possible. So, yeah, looking forward to playing that, guys. Picked up the original Streets of Rage for the Sega Mega Drive. So I've now got all 3 of these as they were. Rather than obviously having Streets of Rage on the Mega Games 2 collection, I've got this now on its own, which is cool. So it's nice to have that. It's an awesome side-scrolling beat-em-up game, which I really like for the Mega Drive. It's an absolute classic, this one. Picked up Outrun Europa. I've actually got this on the Sega Game Gear, which the wife bought me for Christmas, with a whole load of Game Gear games. So this is a version of Outrun for the Sega Master System, rather. It's a pretty cool game. I've had a bit of fun playing this. It's quite tricky. It's also a bit choppy. Not sure if that's because of the Master System and because the game's quite demanding. But yeah, it's pretty good fun, this one. Also got the very, very classic Choplifter, which is a cool sort of helicopter rescue type game, or gunship helicopter type game, which is really awesome. One day I'll put up a video, I suspect, playing this. Looked for this for a while, and it's been hard to track down, but this one I picked up from Wares Games. They had a copy of it, so picked it up. It's not in the best shape. I mean, the label, or the cover, for example, was a bit sort of crinkled up, where I think it's had some water damage, but, other than that, it's pretty good. Got Ghostbusters for the Sega Master System. Again, the casing's not in the best condition. You can see the cover's all sort of crinkled up as well. This came from Everyday Games. Got the manual, and one of my pet hates is when people write on manuals and things, which someone did at some point to this. But yeah, Ghostbusters on the Master System, one of the better versions of the original game, so really pleased to have that. For the Sony PlayStation, I have got Formula 1 98. Now, I've got this purely for collecting purposes, to be honest with you, because I like the Formula 1 games. This one isn't so good. It's one of the bad ones, I'm afraid, as I showed in my good and bad Formula 1 games video. So I picked this up anyway. It's yeah, it's alright. It's a bad F1 game from the point of view that the handling's really bad and the graphics aren't so good, but if you start to get used to it, it's okay to play, but very frustrating. Okay, here is a Nintendo Famicom cartridge. It's the original Super Mario Brothers, which I've already got on the NES with Duck Hunt as well. Just trying to get it to focus. There we go. So yeah, got that. I've also got Tetris. As you know, I've already got that for the NES, although this version, this Famicom version, is a bit different. I've also got a NES to FC adapter, so NES to Famicom adapter, which allows me to plug NES cartridges into a Famicom or Nintendo family computer. So why on earth have I got Famicom cartridges and an adapter? It's because I have a boxed and complete Famicom. Yes! And even better, it's actually already been modded for AV, so it's got composite on it, or it's got a connection to allow me to use composite. So I can actually use it in my setup, because if I use the original Japanese RF, I would not be able to use this at all, because obviously our TVs over here, they don't actually pick up the RF frequency that they use in Japan, or used in Japan. So yeah, it's a boxed and complete Famicom, guys. Really pleased to have this. It's in decent condition, complete. And it's one I've wanted for a little while. It was expensive, mind you. It wasn't cheap. But yeah, so boxed and complete Famicom, guys. And just a very, very quick update about one of my Sega Master System Model 2s. You'll see this massive mess of wiring here with capacitors and things. It's because I've actually done the RGB mod to it. You see the DIN socket there that's sort of hanging out and flapping around there. I've actually done the RGB mod. It's soldered onto the bottom of the board. It seems to work pretty well. I need to get myself a composite sync or C-Sync cable for this, because the cable I've got for the other Master System, for whatever reason on this, the picture's all jumpy and messed up. But when I use one of the Mega Drive cables I've got, which has got the stereo jack plug, so you don't get any sound when you plug it into this, the picture's nice, stable, and looks fantastic. So I'm going to have to get myself one of those C-Sync cables for the Master System. But yeah, it wasn't too difficult. I mean, I'm not the best at soldering, but this mod wasn't too difficult to follow and do. I also tried this and the other Master System 2 that I've got as well, which I'm going to sell on shortly, with another television using RF, and they were fine. So maybe it's just my TV in the game room here that's, for some reason, doesn't agree with this, because it worked on another TV fine with no interference. So yeah, just thought I'd show that and show you what I'm doing. At some point, I'm going to make a hole and mount this connection properly so that it can sit in the case, and I can use my RGB SCART lead when I get it for this. And yeah, it'll be pretty cool. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this pickups video. My next video is going to be about the Commodore 64 and the first video game that I ever played. Thanks for watching.